Good morning, everybody. I'm here at the Lower Baraka Gardens in Valletta with Duck, and I want to introduce to you this morning cinnamon rolls for your pigeons. Now, cinnamon is an antibacterial. Actually, it's a very natural alternative to an antibiotic, and it has antioxidant and antifungal properties as well. I'm going to show you how to make these rolls and feed it to your pigeon one bit at a time. You'll have to do this manually. Now, I do want to give this man a mention first of all before I continue. He's got YouTube videos everywhere about pigeons. He's also an author of a book called Racing Pigeons Advanced Techniques, Feeding Secrets. You should probably look that up. I've had a bit of a squiz, not at the book but at the blogs, and his YouTube videos are brilliant. I've only just found this man. And I really want you to have a look at this guy, because his name is, I'm going to spell it to you first because my pronunciation might not be the same, but it's Ducian, Ducian, I think, and Busecan is the surname, Busecan. Now that's how I would pronounce it. He's very well known and his information is absolutely brilliant. He also has YouTube videos about garlic, giving garlic to pigeons. Now I've had a look at those and they are very, very good. Garlic, as you know, is an antibacterial and it boosts their immune system. It's also an antiviral remedy as well, and anti-parasites. So this is something that if you've got racing pigeons, even if you've got pet pigeons, this is something that you should actually give to the pigeons anyway. And you only need to give it to them in drops. You can mix it with their water or mix it with their food. But I would recommend, not just to rely on this video, I would absolutely recommend that you look this guy up and at least have a look at his YouTube videos. And his book is very, very good. It's got very good ratings. So this is something you can find online. Now, I've got Duck on my shoulder this morning, but I am going to take him off to show you how to do these rolls, because I need to move very, very quickly, and I'm trying to keep this video down to 10 minutes. So I think I work quicker with Duck in his little box there that I've created for him, and I'm going to show you that right now. Have a look over here first of all. There's a little box here that I've made for him. Now this is my little setup table, and the box is just something that I've cut out of, you know, it's just a 4-litre container. It's actually very, very good for him. He's about to go in there all by himself, and these pigeons, I have to say, are highly, highly intelligent, highly intelligent. More intelligent than what's actually written about them, I believe, because my direct experience with this little man, you know, a couple of times he's left me gobsmacked with my mouth open as to how does he know to do that, you know? No training required. It's like they have some kind of, you know, they're very sensitive, they're very, they've got very strong instincts, and they just know things. They're just unbelievable, and I would recommend pigeons for pets, absolutely, now that I've had the experience to have Duck here on my shoulder. Now, little man, I'm really sorry to disappoint you, and I know you want to sit there, and I love you to bits, but I'm going to put you in your little box. Yes, I am, and I need you to cooperate so I can move this video very, very quickly. Okay, darling, I love you very much. Now I'm going to put him in. And he practically goes in there by himself, actually. He's very intelligent. He knows what that box is. Watch this. Watch how good he is. If I can get him to, oh, I've got the box on the wrong angle. But I'll see if he understands. You're going to go in there for me. Look at that. Straight in. Straight in. This little man, I don't know if you saw that. I didn't see which angle I was pointing the camera, but straight in he went. He knows what that box is, and he sits there, and he can fly, guys. You all know this by now. This little man can fly. So he's on my shoulder by choice. I was asked this again yesterday, and he sits in there by choice as well. You know, I'm not going to stop him if he wants to have a fly around, because I believe, being an animal lover, that those who can fly belong in the sky. I preach this. So I absolutely hate seeing birds in cages. I don't believe in it. And I think if he wants to fly, I'm not going to stop him, but he only wants me. And I'm happy about that. I'm not complaining. I adore him. So here we go. I'm going to teach you guys how to make those cinnamon rolls, and this is something that you should give to your pigeon anyway. Now my dose is a little bit big for him actually, I think, and one time I must admit he did throw it up, and then I realized it was too much and I had to half the dose. But if you watch the man that I've just quoted, Ducian, if you watch his YouTube videos, he gives you the exact portions. Now that's something I'm not good with. That's why I was never a good cook. Because my portions I don't know. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to set this up and show you how to do this. Now basically you need bread. You can see this. I use this bread. If you really love your pigeon, you'd use the best products. That's what I think. They're really not that expensive. I mean, in Australia you'd pay a lot more. But here we go. Golden Harvest. I would recommend this factory, absolutely. I would get this bread and only this bread. Now they've helped me a lot actually, this factory. That's one reason. And the other reason is because it's really good quality bread. And this particular one, barley and oats, is it's full of barley and it's full of oats, and you can actually see it in the bread, so you know that what you're giving your pigeon is good quality bread. So that's that. And ground cinnamon as well. This is this is the all-star product. This is unbelievable. It's just a spice, you know, you can get from trees, that is made actually from found in trees, I should say, but I love it. It's really, really good. It's so simple, and I'm going to show you how to make these rolls and store them. And they are going to look like miniature cinnamon rolls that you just slice and give it to your pigeon one bit at a time. This guy, now I can really vouch for these products, absolutely, because this little man, guys, remember I picked him up off the ground and he was in a bit of a state. I didn't think he was going to make it, and nobody else did either, and I gave him a chance and he survived. But the state that he was in, these products, I believe his nutrition has been the first and foremost, on top of all the love that I gave him. Nutrition number one, guys, with pigeons like this. And you know, his progress has been absolutely unbelievable, and everybody who has seen him when I picked him up off the ground and seen him now has commented about his progress. Absolutely unbelievable. So the cinnamon rolls will end up looking like this. I'm going to try and balance this camera because I don't have a stand or anything, so I'm going to try really hard. But anyway, if you can see that, can you see that? Yeah. So, you know, it's just a long roll of bread and it's been sliced, and in the middle you can see is the cinnamon. So that's all you give him. And I'm going to show you guys how to make it. And again, I must give credit to Ducian, the man I just spoke to you about, the author. Because after watching his YouTube video, this is where I got this idea from. And I believe that you should give credit to the owner of a product that has served you well. And he's been excellent with these products, and his pigeons actually are in perfect health. So here we go. You need a bit of water, of course. Now let me see if I can balance this camera, because this is going to be the difficulty in this. There we go. And I'm going to duck down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think that's good enough. So I've got some other products I'm going to tell you about later, which is why this bench is set up like this. But we'll start with the cinnamon. Again, my portions aren't brilliant, but I think you can work your own out within time. Now I'm going to use 1 teaspoon because that's what Ducian on his video recommended, and so I'm going to try really hard to give you the right portions. So 1 teaspoon here of cinnamon, you can see that. You put that in a cup, very simple. I mean, you know, I take a lot of pleasure doing this for this little man because I love him to bits. Here we go, the water. And the water, just a few drops, because what you want to do is you want it to become like a paste, but quite a thick paste. We're going to roll it in the bread is the idea. So just, whoops, there goes the water on the floor. You know, I do not cook without dropping something or burning something or breaking something. Cooking is not my forte. My strengths are in other areas, but certainly not the kitchen. Anyway, that's why I'm cooking outside today. Maybe I'll have a bit more luck. Duck hasn't complained so far. So anyway, here I'm doing exactly what Ducian, I hope I've pronounced his name right, on his YouTube videos said to do. And beautiful. I need a bit more water, so let me get that water that fell. And we'll do another couple of drops. See, so far it's you can see it needs to be a little bit more pastier, so we'll do some more water like this. There we go. Now we've got a nice paste. It's exactly what we want. But use this, guys, even if your pigeons are not sick. This is what he says to do, and I absolutely would follow his guide, because if you look at his pigeons on his YouTube videos, this man knows what he's doing. And they're racing pigeons, so they're not pet pigeons. So you could imagine the level of care that goes on, you know, into his caretaking for those pigeons. So I believe everything he says so far. Now this is perfect. This is exactly how it should look. I'll drop that little bit in there, but well done, Anne. That's amazing. It actually worked. That was my biggest kind of concern, is that here I am, you know, going live and it might not work, but it's worked. So that's what it has to look like. And now all you do is roll that into the bread, and you just cut that in little pieces. So I'm going to do that now in front of you. You get the bread. Golden harvest, guys. Go golden harvest. Go golden harvest. Here we are. And this paste now looks like this. You see? Actually, it looks like a bit of shit, but it's okay. It's all good. As long as it's good for your pigeon and it works, it doesn't really matter what it looks like, you know. So here we go. And then, I hope you can see what I'm doing. You know, please don't comment on that. I know what it looks like, but it is very good for your pigeon. So you do that. You take the crust off. I'm going to cut the crust off and show you. And then I'm going to roll it into a long roll, and I'm going to slice it, and I'm going to show you what I think is pretty close to being a good portion for your pigeon, especially you guys if you've got racing pigeons. So it ends up looking like that. You can see that. And also then you roll it, and as you roll it you have to squeeze the bread down, because what that does is it gets the cinnamon. It also spreads the cinnamon, but it gets it to stick. So that's really important. Now you don't have to do it in the bread, actually. You can just give it to them kind of without doing the bread, you know, in small portions, the size of a corn, you know, one little bit of corn. But I do it with the bread because, you know, I feel sorry for this little man. I could imagine it tastes really horrible for them anyway. And, you know, they're not cinnamon lovers. They don't know. So I just think if I put it in the bread, at least he's getting, you know, something that tastes all right. So there you go. Look at that. It doesn't have to be perfect. The pigeons aren't going to complain. And so you've got this roll. So it looks a bit like a sausage roll, but with cinnamon. It's a cinnamon roll. They used to be my favourite in high school, cinnamon rolls. There you go. And I'm going to slice that, and I'm going to show it to you. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to feed it to my pigeon. And so I'm going to slice that in really small slices. The idea, according to Ducian's YouTube videos, this guy's brilliant. I really want you to have a look at his videos. I'm going to put his link actually on my website. But the idea is to portion this the size of a corn, and you give that to them 3 times a day, and it's supposed to work wonders. And especially if you have sick pigeons, it's supposed to work wonders. So I'm going to tilt this camera down so you can see what I've done. You see? And then now I'm going to give one to Duck. And part of the reason he's in his little pen is because I'm going to do this to him. So I want to show you how I'm going to do this to him. And that's it. That's the video for today. We are pushing for time, guys, so I'm going to do this quickly. Come on, little man. Come out here, darling. My baby. This is my baby, everyone, if you haven't already met him. My little man. And he doesn't like it. He knows what's coming, and he doesn't like it, because it's you know, a little bit rough, but it's good for him. There it is. Now that's probably a bit too big. You can halve that, but I'm going to wash that down with water in a minute, Duck. There you go. There you go. And we'll give him a bit of water. Give him a little bit of water, Duck. water for duck. Of course, he has got a dropper for this, and he can drink by himself. I don't know if you saw that, but there he is. There he is. He's quite happy.